Namaste and welcome to Yoga with Annette. Today we're going to do a wall yoga practice. So if you can find a place in your home where you have an empty wall or take some of the pictures off, we're going to work mostly on the ground with our legs up in the air on the wall. So see if you can find a place, make yourself comfortable in a seated position. This is how we begin. I'm in a comfortable chair. We call this Sukhasana in yoga. And I'm going to start with trying to get my knees as low to the ground as I can. My feet are just simply folded in front of me and one in front of the other. And we're going to start with pressing our weight into our knees and leaning forward. And maybe add a little rocking motion back and forth. All we're doing is settling ourselves in and grounding ourselves. This is going to be a lower body practice. It's going to be to help us feel secure, safe, grounded, connected with ourselves and with the planet. And we're going to dedicate this practice to the people who are the nurturers right now, the people who are on the front line, the people who are still working, our essential workers, and our people who are in a place of giving when they maybe feel that their reserves are low. Maybe their nervous system is taxed and they're still being asked to give. So these people include our teachers, our daycare workers, our nurses, our doctors, our truck drivers, the grocery workers, the pharmacists, the farmers, everyone who is still out there in a place of giving, even when they're dealing with their own fear and their own anxiety. This is who this practice is dedicated to. Maybe this is you, maybe this is someone you know. So join me in this grounding practice using the wall. And here's where we're going to begin. Energy work. First, we're going to find where we are in our mental and emotional body, and then we'll move into the physical. So still in our seated position, warming up, I want you to notice and feel your sit bones connected to the earth, and maybe even rock back and forth or lift your sit bones up, lean forward if you need to. Let yourself feel completely grounded. Softening the eyes, let your eyelids drop closed. You can open your eyes inside of your eyelids. Maybe you can see shapes or different variations of color or light and dark contrasts. Just let yourself be at home in your body, and you start with closing the eyes and looking within. And hands are palm down anywhere on your legs, your knees. This is another gesture of going within. We're going to venture on the inside and then work our way to the outside. Just tuning in with how you feel right now. And go to the physical. Feel your belly, your stomach, your digestive tract, your sit bones, your hips. You move your way up into your chest, your heart, your lungs, your respiratory system, your pulmonary system, your circulatory system. And then move into the neck, the top of the neck. How does your spine feel from the tailbone all the way up to the cervical vertebrae at the very top of the neck? Soften the chin down, allow that vertebrae to stretch and reach a little higher. And I want you to imagine your sit bones are attached to the bottom of a pond, and gently start the swaying motion as the water gently nudges you side to side. You want to create a flow in your spine. This is the basis of flow yoga, is water energy. So just feel that gentle movement, that swaying. Soften your spine, go with the flow, release, as if you were really attached to the bottom of the pond. And then take a deep inhalation. Let your chest rise as you take a deep breath. And exhale, let it sink. We're going to do another chest breath. I want you to literally drop your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest, inhale, like you're blowing up a balloon, more, more, more. And then exhale, let it all contract. One more time, big expansion. We know where we're going here. Inhale, inhale, keep going, keep going. Hold the top of it. Feel the energy swirling in your chest. A little bit of that Van Gogh picture here. And then exhale, squeeze your belly back. Belly breath next. This time take an inhale, push your belly out. This opens up the base of the lungs. And then exhale, squeeze your belly back, make yourself skinny like a cat. Inhale, Buddha belly. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I want you to hold it at the top of the breath. Find that space of nothing. You're not inhaling, you're not exhaling. Hold it, then exhale. Squeeze it all the way back, empty it out. Remember, feel nothing. Last time, inhale, your belly expands. Make it as big as you can. Create space in the lower torso. And then exhale, let it go. Last place we're gonna go to tune in to the energy is rub your hands together. You can feel the heat and the friction. It's kind of fun to play with it, this idea of polarity. You can even feel your energy as you put your hands together, and then you'll feel that little repulsion, like magnetic energy. Even if you don't notice it, it's there. Rub your hands together. One hand on heart, one hand on your belly, upper or lower. I'm gonna go for the upper belly. That's where I feel my nervousness. Soften the eyes again. Just let your hands do their work. They're gonna move the energy where it needs to be in your body. It's gonna find a place of balance. And with you pressing your hand in, it calms the nervous system, gives you a sense of safety and well-being, and allows the energy to go where it's needed. You just plugged in the circuit. It's racing around in your body, stopping where it's needed. And then we're ready. We're ready to jump into the physical. So the wall is behind me. I'm going to show you how to get your feet up the wall the most graceful way we can. So we're going to back up. You're going to literally push your hip up against the wall. So I am sitting completely next to the wall, as close as I can get to the wall. I'm going to come down on the ground and I'm going to swing the feet up. And we're going to stay there with our feet up the wall for a couple of minutes. It's really good for the circulatory system. So here we go. Now once I get here, I can wiggle in a little bit, get as close as I can, elbows and shoulders, and drop it in. So allowing the weight of my hips, my sacrum, to just completely melt into the floor. It's a surrender. Toe heel flex a couple of times. This wakes up the circulatory system, gets your muscles all in sync, and then just soften your heels against the wall, let it go. And just stay here and breathe. You can probably feel the blood rushing down the legs. It's very quick. It relieves the pressure of the feet and the ankles. And it brings all that blood back down into the torso to go through the body organs and go through a cleansing. So I want you just to melt in here and focusing on melting the hips into the floor. Feeling your body weight. Then focusing on shoulders, roll them back. If you lift it and roll it back, you'll feel it flatten and let your arms just come out like cactus. And it lifts the heart a little bit. It creates a bit of an inversion. So now the blood is even going down into the skull. Part of the idea with yoga is circulatory system. Getting the blood to move in places it normally wouldn't. It's a very healthy and good way to detox and bring nutrients to all the dark and far reach corners of your body. And we're going to melt in here. We're just going to have just some quiet with the feet up the wall. And we're going to take an inhale, bring the feet forward, hands go up in the air, and then we're going to roll the ankles and the wrists inwards until you hear them snap, crackle, pop. A lot of that noise that we hear are air pockets. It's totally fine, it's all good. And then go the other way and try to balance it out about the same amount of time or until you hear the sound starting to recede or stop altogether. That means you've gotten into those far reach corners of the body. Now we're going to bring the heels back to the wall. We're going to come into cobbler. So cobbler, as it sounds, soles of the feet, right? So soles of the feet come together And you slide your feet down the wall. Your knees go wide. I'm going to stay here for about 30 seconds. Feel free to pause the video. Stay here for as long as you like. All of these positions can be held for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes even. The idea here is double hip opener, getting into the lower body, opening it up. The lower body is where we house our feelings of fear and connection. There's a higher octave and a lower octave. You want to feel connected. You want to open this channel up and feel connected to the earth, to your community, to your family, and most importantly, to yourself. So opening up energetically, opening up physically, this makes room for spirit, your energy, your animation. Now we're going to release this, bring it back to feet up the wall, toe heel flex again. Heels against the wall, we're going to go wide out into a V, as far as you want. You're tuning into the hips here. Maybe bring your hands to the outside, maybe even plant the elbows and help create a foundation to hold up the weight of the legs. You don't want to feel the strain in the minor muscles around the hips. If you do, bring it up and just stay in a higher level. You want to be where you feel the stretch, but no pain, and you want to be careful not to strain a muscle. First, do no harm. You can pause this here and stay. I'm going to move us along, bringing the legs together, hug the knees in, and just a little bit of rock side to side. Your weight pushing into your sacrum, that's your hips. Push your hips into the ground, side to side. All right, coming into a pigeon, deep hip opener. One leg up the wall, the other one comes into the pigeon shape, which has your ankle just below the knee. Taking your hand, maybe nudging into that knee, but keep your hips squared, especially that left hip is glued to the ground. Now, if you want to add more intensity, you can slide this foot down a little bit, and you're going to feel it over here in the hip, or you can leave it straight up. And then we're going to gently release that. Everything goes up. Maybe toe heel flex. This lets the circulation come back. Releases the muscles. That's an intense pose. Soften it out. Pedal it out. Opposite leg comes in. We're going to set it up the same way. We don't rest on top of the kneecap because the kneecap is tentatively connected to your body, not by bone, and we don't want to harm it. So I am above, even though I know it's going down, but it's above the kneecap at the base of my thigh bone. If you can't come down this far, go above the knee, but not on the kneecap itself. And your body will tell you that feels weird anyway, hopefully. And I'm pressing in on the inside of this knee because I'm feeling it in the hip, and that's where I want to feel it. And we're gonna gently release that, let it go up, pedal it out. Hug the knees in. We're gonna come into a spinal twist. So I'm gonna drop the knees over to the side. You can walk your feet over, help it get there, but your shoulder, you're trying to leave on the ground or reaching towards the ground. So that's what creates the twist in your spine, and that's what we're doing. Legs go this way, upper torso, opposite direction. Arm can be out to a T, you can bring it in on top of the body, but hold your twist. We'll be here for at least the next 30 seconds. The important part of the twist is this is a nice way to detox the body, the circulatory system, and even the spinal fluid. Keeping that flexibility in our spine is what keeps us mobile and healthy. And so we're assisting the skeletal system at the same time. All right, gonna lift these knees up. And wiggle in on your sacrum side to side. You want to reset, grounding into the ground, maybe even lifting up. Then we're going to drop those knees over. Same thing, knees go this way, torso goes this way. We're going to bring it all home. Bring the feet back up. Now I'm going to give you a choice here. You can stay here with your feet up the wall, and especially on a work day or if you travel, feet up the wall is really beneficial. Even if you did this every day for 2 minutes and that's all you did. That's your hint for the day. If you're going to feel better laying down on your mat, lay down on your mat. For Shavasana, I'm going to read a poem to you. So either stay here, I'll model it, or just simply laying down on your mat. I want you to have a moment of quiet relaxation, and I want you to close your eyes, just as if we would if we were going into a Shavasana. And when we come out of Shavasana, I'll ring my chime. But for right now, close your eyes, get comfortable, and I'm gonna read to you a poem that was written by a man named Fred Lamont. He lives here in Olympia. He's a published poet, and he's an inspirational speaker. He's a highly spiritual man, extremely intelligent. Like so many people we have here in Olympia, we're so blessed. And for my friends who don't live in Olympia, this is a great place. This is called In the Time of the Blessed Uncertainty. In the time of the blessed uncertain, we become the community that we needed to be all along. Entwined in solitude, we widen the space of compassion to heal the dis-ease with ease and quench our thirst at the well of our grieving. Tears are never false. Trust in your tears, yet apart, share one breath. Stranger, I breathe you, dwelling in your body as you dwell in mine. Distance has swallowed up in being. You grow tired on your journey, rest here. Your home is too far, stay with me. You feel something break inside of you. Pass it through the flame in my heart until it is whole again. You yearn self-time the way an animal knows it must curl into the circle of its own fur. Rain-drenched under the fern, finally we all discover that self-healing need. I will not come too near from the majesty of my own aloneness. I bow to your aloneness. author Fred Lamott. And that place in me honors and respects that place in you where we both dwell in our higher self. Namaste.